Hi, I'm Brian, co-founder and CEO of MedRhythms. I'm one of 250 people in the world with advanced training in the neuroscience of music and how this can be clinically applied, having successfully built a therapy practice incorporating this knowledge. Our co-founder, Owen McCarthy, is a Harvard Business School graduate with previous experience as a founder of a VC-backed startup. And I want to start by telling you about one of my patients, who really is the inspiration for us to build the digital medicine platform. His name is George. He's 65, full of life, a father, a grandfather, who suffered a severe stroke which left him with the inability to walk. He underwent weeks of intensive therapy and made minimal progress. When I met him and offered my services, the clinical application of music, in just one session, George was able to walk safely without his cane for the first time since his injury. He walked 6 times the distance at twice the speed. We were lucky to capture that first session on film, and this is actual footage of before and after of one 45-minute session. George is now back to work, driving, and just started ballroom dance lessons with his wife. George got his life back. At MedRhythms, we exist to bring that level of high quality and convenience of care to George and the 3.3 million people in the United States, like him, living with gait deficits due to stroke. MedRhythms is a digital medicine company that combines sensors, artificial intelligence, and music to help people improve walking and reduce falls. Our first product, the MedRhythms Stride, has sensors that connect to the shoe that collect data about walking, things like cadence or speed of walking, symmetry, and stride length. We feed that data into our algorithm, and we change music in real time, guided by neuroscience principles of how music can improve walking. The data that we collect, our machine learning makes our algorithms better, and we can unlock predictive features. Now, you might be asking, why music? So in order to frame the answer to that question, I'm going to enlist the help of Beyonce.
Yes! So crazy right now.
All right, that's good? Yes, Beyonce. Now, we all know that music has the power to evoke emotions. Likely, some of you just had a heart rate go up, or you thought of a time or a place connected to a song. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Neuroscience research is now telling us that there is no other stimulus on Earth that engages our brain as globally as music. And this research also shows that music can aid in the process of healing the injured brain. Specifically, rhythm can engage the motor system to help improve quality of walking. In addition to Owen and myself, we have a team that we've assembled to execute, including Alex Kalpaxis, who's a machine learning and sensor expert, and Dr. Ron Hirschberg, who's a clinical lead, associate professor at Harvard Medical School, and neurorehab doctor at Mass General Hospital. We also have a team of advisors, including the president of Spalding Rehab Hospital, the VP of Business Development at Optum Labs, and the premier researcher on music and neuroscience who founded the field in which I'm trained. We've also gained some significant traction to date. Our therapy practice created and implemented the first clinical program with music at Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital and has built it to the most comprehensive program of its kind in the country. Last year, we did over 4,000 hours of direct clinical care with paying customers. And based upon that, we now have a patent-pending digital medicine platform, Core Technology. We also have potential clinical collaborations with some of the top rehab hospitals in the country, including the Cleveland Clinic and Spalding Rehab. We're nationally recognized as experts on music and neuroscience. We've raised seed capital from current and former entrepreneurs, and we have a working MVP currently in use. Now, we're going to start in the post-stroke in-home walking market for people like George, where we've developed an evidence-based in-home solution to help people improve walking, improve their independence, and give caregivers peace of mind. We're starting here because we have deep expertise in using music to recover walking after a stroke. It's also been shown that music for recovery works better than anything else. We also see this as a strategic stepping stone, as with similar design conditions and concerns, we can launch a fall prevention product in the aging in place population. For by improving gait speed, we can decrease falls. When we look at this market of our post-stroke market alone, which represents 3.3 million people in the United States whose lives we strive to impact, that leads us to a $6.7 billion total addressable market. We assume about 50% of that is our serviceable addressable market when we take into account their functioning levels, $3.5 billion. And with the right strategic partners, we estimate that we can capture about 10% of that market, which is $350 million in revenue. Now, when we expand that to all indications for gait, things like Parkinson's disease, MS, traumatic brain injury, That number raises our total addressable market to $22.6 billion in the United States alone. Our go-to-market strategy is a multi-pronged approach. First, we will launch an evidence-based, FDA-approved product via e-commerce to the 500,000 plus people each year who are currently searching for solutions online. We will then partner with companies who have existing channels to customers, including AERP, Philips, or Amazon's Alexa. Pricing starting at $170 per month as a subscription for unlimited use. Our potential competitors, such as med device companies, sensor companies, or physical therapy, are at least 3 to 4 times that price. With the similar infrastructure and algorithms built in phase 1, we will then launch products in these individual disease states with data and claims validated by these potential clinical collaborators who have already expressed interest in running clinical trials in each of these disease states. We will then partner with strategic commercial partners in each of these diseases as well, including pharmaceutical companies and existing hardware providers. Our immediate milestones to come in the next 6 months are to build an end-to-end holistic solution and to start the clinical trials necessary to build claims for FDA submission. We will then file our additional patents per our patent strategy and have our first commercial launch in year 2. By hitting these and successive milestones, we project at a year 5 revenue of $350 million with 100,000 install base. Now, we understand that we need to focus and execute in a narrow focus area, but at MedRhythms, we have a much bigger vision. You see, people like George don't just have walking problems. They suffer from a range of movement, language, and cognitive deficits. And our platform doesn't just apply to the post-stroke population. It applies to any neurologic disease or injury: MS, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, autism. And I can tell you as a clinician that I've witnessed the power of music change people's lives when literally nothing else could. People need and deserve to have this level of care. And at MedRhythms, it is our vision that we'll build the company to bring this power to the people who need it. We'll have multiple different algorithms as personalized therapeutics to help recover these important functions. It is our vision that with the data that we collect through the therapeutic, we'll unlock early detection of new diseases, progression of existing conditions, and prediction of adverse events. And it's with this vision that we've built the foundation for MedRhythms to leave its mark on the world by fulfilling our mission of access and empowering people to live their lives fully. We look forward to collaborating and meeting people who are potential commercial or clinical collaborators, or people who are just passionate about making a difference here at the intersection of music, neuroscience, and technology. And we want to thank Philips for sharing in this vision and their commitment to improving the lives of their customers, and for collaborating with us and taking the time to do that, as we're excited to be a member of this healthcare ecosystem who's innovating the future of patient care. Thank you.